Well, good morning, everyone. That's a beautiful song. To be free to be who we are, not to be who we want to be, but who we are, who we were designed to be. Very few of us are showing up in life as we were designed to be. We are who we are. That's fine. But part of transformation is moving from who we are to the discovery of who we are to be. And then when we discover who we are to be, it becomes who we are. Welcome. Today is Sunday, January 21st. I pray things are well. 22nd. I pray things are well with each of you. We're in 2023, the year with the vibrational frequency of 7. That means you can have anything that your heart desires if you learn how to work the principles. Well, yesterday we experienced the first new moon for 2023. That was January 21st in different time zones that showed up at different times. But yesterday, the 21st, was the first new moon of 2023. It's the beginning of a new cycle. The new moon is considered a growth phase and is ideal time to plant seeds in our gardens to as well as our hearts for our future, what we want to experience. The new moon is an invitation to start afresh, call intentions, and set the tone for the next cycle of our lives. It's not a time to quit, but a time to start. Many times people are thinking about what they want to stop doing. But during the new moon energy, you want to look at what you want to start doing. Aligning with the universe sets by setting out declaratory statements of intention is a very powerful practice. So I spent some time last night doing that in addition to working on my what many call vision board. When we combine the declaratory intentions for what we desire with the clean slate of this new moon energy, we have a potent recipe for manifestation, not creation, but manifestation. Manifesting the vision that you desire most, the things you see in your mind, the thing that gives you a burning desire. The new moon offers an energizing and exciting time for all of us to recalibrate our energy for the upcoming cycle and bring a upgraded level of consciousness to the aspirations that we long to bring into this third dimension that we are in, called reality. So learning to set intentions aligned with your overall manifestation plan is a big part of the practice, the strategy you should have. Yes, you should have an overall manifestation plan. And so earlier this year, we ended the year by working on our vision boards, by identifying what we wanted, what we desired to manifest in 2023. But we didn't just pull that out the air. We really spent some time towards the last part of the year getting a sense of what we are designed to experience, what Source desires for us to have. For Source knows the plans that it has for us. And so we have to go to Source. We spend time in meditation. So it requires, when we talk about setting powerful intention, it requires that you attune with the universe, along with knowing what represents your highest and greatest good, and then listen. Often we find ourselves caught up in what we think we want, okay, or what others want for us. Or there is an ambivalent attitude that you may have about really going after your dreams. And that's something that you may take some time to look at. Why am I ambivalent? You may not even have barriers to going after that dream, but you might just be ambivalent. I've worked with many clients over the years who feel guilty about what they want or what they desire and believe they'll never get it. And guess what? The reality is they never get it. This usually stems from feelings of a big sense of lack in their lives, that they don't deserve what their hearts desire, or they don't feel worthy enough or in tune with to really receive their true desires. So these belief systems that all of us have need to be addressed in order to make the most out of our new moon experience, our new moon intentions and rituals that you may create. The beauty is you do not need to have it all figured out right now. Life is about transforming. Life is about growing. Life is about changing. All that is required is an open heart and a willingness to explore what surfaces in your life with courage. So you want to be on the court. When things show up, you want to deal with them with courage. So this morning, I want to welcome you to African Centered Spiritual Science Sunday. Yes, formerly known as Serendipity Sunday. African Centered Spiritual Science Sunday. It's a brief time with me where I lay out a spiritual truth. And it's African centered because it takes into consideration our ancestral experience. It takes into consideration our unique experiences of people of African descent. So today I will briefly address an overlooked reason for intentions not being actualized. Why things are not coming to pass. Why the thing you desire, the thing you are attempting to manifest are not coming to pass. As usual, and every week, we'll usually start with some definitions or a definition, because what has happened, sometimes we give meaning to words, and in life, things take on the meaning you give them. Though the meaning may not be its intended meaning, it can move you away from its intended meaning when you're using an altered meaning. So we're dealing with intentions, and the root of, or the activating word for intentions is intend. So the definition of intend is to set the mind to proceed, or a course of action as one's purpose or objective or plan. To have a plan. I intend to. That's a definite statement. Even though it's a definite statement, how you state it will determine whether or not you do. So intend leads to intentions. An intention is the starting point of every dream or goal that is actualized, whether it's money, relationships, spiritual awakening, or love. Everything that happens to you, through you, start with some form of intention. Everything that happens within this universe begins with intentions. So you may want to take some time to look at your life and look at the intentions that are aligning with what is showing up. I guarantee you what is showing up is aligned 100% with your intentions. Now, you may not know it, that the intentions that you state consciously may not be the intentions that you hold in the program or your subconscious self. And that's what we want to deal with this morning. So this morning we are dealing with intentions. Like you may set an intention to drive to the store, walk around the block, or even to show up at African Center Spiritual Science Sunday. Many people last night probably set the intention, I'm going to be there, but they're not here. Or many people may have told me, I'm going to be here I intend to be there this Sunday. A lot of times, the way they say it and the words they use, I already know whether or not they're going to be present. Now, when we talk about intentions, we talk about the definition of the word intend. We look at intentions, but there's another word or another thing you must become familiar with. We know the word says, as a man thinks, so is he. Our thinking faculty is our brain, and many of us don't know what the brain is made up of. We see there's just one big organ that's shaped like a fist, but it's more to the brain. There's regions to the brain, there's certain systems in the brain. And so one of the systems that you want to become familiar with as it relates to this whole manifestation, or as it relates to the law of attraction, as it relates to what causes you to take action, is called the activation, it's called the reticular activating system. The RAS. Now, that is a scientific term, that is a biological term, that is a term that psychologists are very familiar with. Individuals who are inside of the mental health profession are familiar with it. So the reticular activating system is a part of the mammalian brain located in the brainstem. In human biology, it is believed to play a role in many important functions, including sleep, waking, behavioral motivation, breathing, and the beating of the heart. It filters between the subconscious mind and conscious mind. It takes instruction from the conscious mind, from the awareness, the brain feeds it, passes it to the subconscious mind, which is the program. And so many of us are not experiencing what we desire to experience because we fail to know how this works and that there is a program. Just because you have a motivation that comes from a sudden conscious awareness of something doesn't mean that you're going to pull that thing off. But when something is registered in the reticular activation system, it then moves that thing into the program. Once it's dropped into the program, you'll know it's in the program because you begin to see it. Like, let's say if you desire a particular car and you set an intention for it, you begin to see that car everywhere. You begin to see ads about that car. Once you set an intention, when it's really set, and it registers inside of the reticular activating system, it now is being put into the program. And as it gets into the program, you'll begin to see it. Now, the deeper the thing is into the program will actually become part of the program, displacing something that may be there already. It'll manifest. It'll begin to come forward. Situations will align themselves that you will be able to attract the very thing that you're looking for. So I don't have a lot of time to go into that, but I wanted to let you know that though. Setting intention plays an important part in activating the mind to bring forth your desired goal. Your brain does not bring forth the desired goal. Your behavior by itself does not bring forth the desired goal, but it comes from through the mind, the oneness of being, through the universe. So this is vital to manifestation. It's vital to understand your makeup, your design. You're created in the image and after the likeness. And many people will say, we are creators. What if you're reading the scripture? It does not say you are a creator. It say you are called a man, a manifester. So we are manifestors. Why? Because we don't create anything. Anything that is to be created is already created. It's a matter of us manifesting it. Okay? So, not creation, because it's already created in the quantum field. Gotta know that. The universe, it has dropped into your mind as a possibility. You have this desire. That's why when you go into meditation and or if you have a problem, if you get quiet and sit still, the answer is in you. The answer is you, because you're part of the universe. You are a outsourced seed of source. You are a spark of the divine. So it is important to you when you get that inclination, when you get that seed of desire dropped into you, where the word says, source gives you the desires of your heart. See, they drop into your heart, not your head. Now you transport them that 36 inches from your, or that 12 inches from your heart to your head. You begin to do the work and work in collaboration. It is required of you to cultivate the seed that is known as thought. Everything that has been created, everything that manifests in this world, in the material realm, first started as a seed or a thought. And then it was brought into reality. So let's look at these three statements this morning. So I'm going to give you three statements. I want you to notice how you actually think. That is your internal pictures, voices, and feelings that you have with each statement. So, statement one, I hope my life will be good. Statement one. Statement two, I want my life to be good. Statement two again, I want my life to be good. Statement three, I intend for my life to be good. Again, I intend for my life to be good. 3 statements around the same intent. The first one, some of you may speak this way often. I hope my life will be good. I hope I get the car. I hope I get the job. I hope a good report comes back from the doctor. I hope. It represents doubt, the possibility of not getting the thing desired. So if you're using this statement, you want to work on displacing it. Now let's look at the second one. Remember, I asked you to think about each statement, and I want you to not only think about it, but what internal pictures come to mind, what voices, and what feelings. And so whenever you make an intention, you want to think about the pictures, you want to observe the pictures, the voices, and the feelings. The voices is everything, because the voice, if it's strong, it tells you that you won't go wrong. If it's not a strong voice, then there's a possibility of going wrong. So the first statement was, I hope. And we don't want to, if you want to be a master manifester, you don't want to deal in hope in this regard. The second statement, I want my life to be good. Close, but there's a great chance it won't come to pass. The reason why I want my life to be good is talking futuristic. As long as you're seeing things in the future, as long as I will try. I see it in the future is not in the present. You see it in the future, it may be compelling. It may give you the good feeling. It may have you believing it's going to come to pass. But as long as it's tomorrow based, tomorrow never comes. Room for doubt is there. When you say, I want my life to be good, then they're still saying, I want it to be, but there's a possibility of the human condition and everybody I know, this is what happens to them. So I see it in the future. I have thoughts that it can manifest, but I have some room for doubt there. And see, what happens then is the brain sees a want, something that you desire, but is not passing it on to the reticular activating system that's going to integrate it or impress it upon it won't get through the filter or the doorway to get into the subconscious mind. So the third one is the one we all want to pay attention to. It states, I stated, I intend for life to be good. I intend for my life to be good. It's present and associated with feelings and sound of right here, right now. That's like if somebody says to you, I might come. Well, listen to these 3 statements. I might come, I want to come, or I'm there. Which of those 3 individuals would you put down on your list most likely? Yes, the last one. Might come, usually that person don't come. I want to come, sometimes that person will come, but most often they are not. Here's those people are leaving it out. That is, so whatever you presented to them to attend, it really wasn't that important to them. Or they would have gave a definite, I'm there. And they would have had behavior that aligned with. They may have pulled out their calendar, put it in the calendar, opened their phone, did something. Or they'll call you a few days before. Is it still going down? Don't let people send you off. Listen to people, what people say. And what people say aligns with their program, and you already know. If you have to convince someone to participate in something that's important to you, that person does not need to be at that event, because they will not hold the same level of excitement. They may show up just as a hater. Oh, I'm gonna show up because Greg, I owe him, or I want to show up just to see, not even showing up to participate. So as you move into 2023, stop trying to sell yourself to people. If they don't resonate with you, what you're doing, let them move on. Matter of fact, you ain't even gotta allow them to move on. You just keep it moving. Pretty soon they won't even be on your radar. Pretty soon, 6 months will go by and you'll notice you've never seen them. And when you run into them, they'll ask you, where you been? Well, I've been moving. I've been shaking. So when you set an intention, you're sending a signal of expectancy to the subconscious. If it's strong, if it's held all the time, if you're setting it, it'll get through that particular activating system and get down into your subconscious as an order being placed. And the subconscious works in alignment with the universe. But the universe always delivers to you what represents your highest and greatest good. Sometimes we get things that does not represent our highest and greatest good. But because we work the principles, you have to get it. How we think, act, and behave overrides our expectancy. So you may set an intention, you may have an expectancy, but does your thinking and your behavior align themselves with what you expect? This is called a habit. The way you live every day is habitual. It tells me what you have thought. It tells me what is your behavior. You do it all the time. So to change a habit, you must not only change the behavior, but you must include the reticular activation system. You must include the conscious and the subconscious. One must change their beliefs. That is, a belief is a thought that has been held as true. Now, a belief does not have to be true, but it's being held true by you. At one point in time, they say that men thought the world was flat, and there's still some people out there that thinks the world is flat. And because of the world being flat, the behaviors of certain individuals who were maritime men, they would not sail, they only would sail so far, because they thought when I look upon the horizon, you could drop off. And it became a belief. So they only went within a place of familiarity. Your beliefs are powerful. Know that thoughts that have been held or affirmed and now are part of your program are your beliefs. So let's look at a couple scriptures that I want you to look at today. So we know that there's a scripture that says, as a man thinks in his heart, not in his head, in your knower, so is he. So if you're thinking wrong thoughts, if you're cultivating wrong thoughts, that's what's gonna show up in your life. That's who you are. That's what you are. This morning, I want to focus on Mark 2:22 as a key scripture to hang your hat on this week. It says in the New Living Translation, and no one puts new wine into old wineskins, for the wine would burst the skins, and the wine and the skins will both be lost. New wine calls for new wineskins. New manifestations come for new thought, calls for new thoughts. We have to look at our old wineskin. And what is this old wineskin? It's our old minds. We find in Romans 12:2, a scripture that all of you are familiar with. And be not conformed to this world. And too many of us who are divine spiritual beings are conformed to this world. We're tied to this world, especially in the religious conversation. The word religious means to tie to the traditions of men, tie to the understanding of men at one place in time. The word says that the traditions of man has made the word of no effect in your life. So when you're looking at the word not working in your life, it's probably because you're tied to, you're relegated you're religiously affiliated with certain thoughts or beliefs that are not necessarily true. So we're called not to conform. So we always should be assessing ourselves. If the more normal you are, the more conformed you are. Yes. If you're not walking in authenticity, if you're not showing up as the fly in the milk, oftentimes you're conformed. And if you're conformed to this world, you cannot do outer world things. You cannot express as a divine spiritual being conforming to the world of the humanness. Second part of that scripture says, but be ye transformed. So this is work we're in. This thing called life is about transformation. It's about being transformed. And how? Not by going to the gym, lifting weights. That's good. I don't rule that out. Not by watching your dietary, the food you put in your mouth, the herbs you put in your mouth. That does not bring true transformation. For there's a transformation that's more powerful than the spoon, more powerful than the weight. And that transformation is the ability to use your mind in the manner in which it was designed. So he says, be transformed by renewing your mind, having new thoughts, having now thoughts. That is taking the science of today, understanding it, and putting it to work for you. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is good, that you may bring into manifestation that which is good, that which is acceptable, and that which is the perfect will of God. God desires to give to you. Yes, God desires to do exceedingly. Source desires to do exceedingly. The universe desires to do exceedingly abundantly above anything you could ask. But it gives you at the level that you request. So in closing this morning, I've been talking about the law of cause and effect. A lot of times people just say the law of attraction. But the real law that is in operation when you are setting an intention is the law of cause. So my intention causes something to happen. It creates an effect. So if your life is not reflective of what you desire to see or experience, take it back to your thoughts. Take it back to the words. Take it back to the intentions. Take it back to the beliefs that you're holding. So during this new moon, we're still in the energy, new moon energy, aligned with nature. Okay? We're reminded that we have an opportunity to set anew, to begin again. Don't worry about what you've done in days gone by. Don't worry about the old intentions you may have set, knowingly, unintentionally. But now be deliberate and intentional by focusing on the strength of the new intention will unseat the old intention. But if you focus on the old intention of trying to get rid of it, the more you focus on it, the more you're cultivating it. So what you have to do is replace old intentions with new intentions. And then you align new intentions with the right actions that support them. So you don't just set an intention, but you also make sure you have corresponding right actions that align with them. Having an image on paper or in your brain or in your mind or in your brain's imagery is key. That's why the scripture says, write the vision and make it plain, that he who reads it can run with it. So when you have a set image in your brain, in your mind's eye, your behavior should align with that if you desire for that to come forward. The more your actions align with the intent, the quicker it will manifest in this realm. It will move from the invisible to the visible. Many of us have so many things in the invisible realm, the storehouse of the invisible realm, that never crossed the threshold to this reality. So there you have it this morning. I hope something has been said to you that has been uplifting and encouraging. I hope I've put something on your mind that you will take the next steps and check out what I've said. Don't just take it because Asar has said it. Oh, I didn't even tell some of you who are first-time visitors who I am. I'm Asar. I am the facilitator of this show every Sunday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Join us. You can find more out about Oasis Spiritual Center for Divine Living by going to Oasis Spiritual Center, www.oasisspiritualcenter.com. If you've been with us this morning and the message, or whatever time of day it is you're listening to this message, and it's been a blessing to you, consider being a blessing to us. Operate in the law of circulation. That is, take what is in your hand, and because you found value in what has been spoken to you today, don't tip me, but bless me. And you can do that by Cash App. If you're using Cash App, you can just dial in the number 708-368, and I'll put it on the screen, 708-368-1076. Or you can go to the website, Oasis Spiritual Center for oasisspiritualcenter.com, and then go to the giving section and find the platform that meets your method that you can transmute what you have there to here. So I hope something has been said this morning. It's good to see all of you. Those of you who are in the chat, good morning, everyone. For those of you who are on the YouTube channel, good morning to you. Before I close, I want to make a couple announcements. Again, you've been with me this morning inside of African Center Spiritual Science. African Center Spiritual Science Sunday. Out here every Sunday. Now, Monday through Fridays, you can go to the website Monday through Fridays from 6 a.m. Central Standard Time to approximately 6:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. We have morning meditations. Go out there, check it out. Matter of fact, don't just go out there and check it out, but set an intention to join us one day this week. I present on Mondays and Wednesdays, but I'm going to be shifting to, I'll be Mondays and Fridays, and then I have others who are working with me that will be presenting on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Join us. Got something else big coming up. I have the 2023 manifestation, 9 weeks of manifestation course. So you can go to the website for the my personal ministry, which is solutionsforliving.com. I'll put it here on the screen. Solutions for Living, and you can go over to the tab, and it talks about the manifestation workshop that's come, masterclass, the manifestation masterclass. So that's what's going on with me, with this ministry right now. So I'm going to go ahead and close out. I'll look and see if I have any questions out here. Let me see if you got a question. You can go ahead and raise your hand. I don't see any, I see a lot of salutations. Good morning to all who have joined me. Let me look over on the Facebook side, the YouTube side of the house. Oh, it's good to see quite a few people this morning. Good morning, Deborah. Good to see you, Joya. Good to see all of you. Oh, here's a question. To me, the word intent is hoping. Okay, it needs to be stronger to me. I prefer the statement, I am there. Excellent. So when we look at, so you have to know what, you can't fool yourself. You got to know if the words you use don't move you, it won't move the universe. Okay, so you got to make sure you're using words, but many of us play safe. We use the words that make space. So you can say, I didn't say I was going to show up. I said I want to show up, or I may be there. So people play, not only do people play with words, but we play with words. Action. Please, what are your thoughts on making the intend word a noun? That's right here. So what she's saying, what I believe she's saying is, you have to speak in the noun, not in the past tense, not in the future tense, but in the future tense gives a sense of expectancy, of compelling. It can keep you going. But when you speak in the noun sense, you're speaking the universal language. You're speaking all in God. There is no beginning or ending. All is now. And we have to learn to operate in the now. We've been programmed to operate according to seconds and according to minutes, according to hours, according to days, weeks, months, and things that move us out into years. But let's start operating in the now. Now, you can operate in the now and don't be concerned about the when. Here's what I mean by the when. The W-H-E-N is the time it takes, because you have the W-I-N. The moment you say it, the moment you speak it, the moment you declare it, it is done. It has been created and now move to the room of manifestation. You just have to hold the right frequency in order that it can manifest, that it can get through the veil into this realm. Awesome. Isn't the road of failure paved with good intentions? Yes, it is. It's paved with good intentions. And so what does that mean? So you can have a good intention, but you're not working the principles behind it. Like people affirm things. To do the vision board is a good intention. To set a resolution is a good intention. But here's what we have. We have individuals who have a desire to see things manifest, but they're not working the principles. That's why I call this African-centered spiritual science, because the spirit behind the science. Science is spirit, spirit is science. Awesome. Oh, good. Okay, thank you all for joining. If you're on the YouTube channel, make sure you hit that like button and also subscribe. If you subscribe, you'll be notified anytime I'm out here with content. In addition to that, inside of the banner, go up into the banner, the information banner about Oasis Spiritual Center YouTube. There's a link there that will allow you to join the mailing list. So I have almost 1,000 subscribers, but very few of them are on the mailing list. So you're missing a lot of content. You are missing, there's things that I don't put on the airways. The assignments, I never put them out there. It's proprietary information. I don't put them out there. So if you want the assignment, you have to be deliberate and intentional. I have a lot of spiritual squatters. I have a lot of onlookers, people just looking on, but they're not participating. Maybe they're looking on to evaluate. Maybe they're looking on just to take what I have and to repackage it. I don't concern myself with it, but I'm not going to make it easy. They're going to have to go the extra mile. Okay, so stop letting people just squat in your life. Let them be intentional and deliberate, and that's what it's all about. So that's all I have this morning. I hope something that was said was encouraging, uplifting, informing. There's a call to action, not just to set an intention, but to be deliberate and intentional. Have right actions that can correspond with that. So as we close this morning, we close with the very song that we started with, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, To Be Free. That is to be free, to be who you are. Have a wonderful day. See you guys soon. Don't forget,